Hey everyone, welcome to the show. So, as I'm sure you guys all know by now, Supreme Court Justice Samuel Alito has been caught in some flagrantly partisan behavior lately. I purposely haven't covered it, which I'll explain why in a minute, but for those who don't know, here's the basics. Alito has been outed for flying two different flags at his two different properties shortly after January 6th. It showed his alliance essentially with Trump's terrorists and with the Stop the Steal BS. Well, now he's been caught on tape making explicit partisan and religious based arguments against compromise. So, Lauren Windsor is the one who captured these wildly inappropriate thoughts on audio. If you're not familiar with her, this is what she does. She attends right wing events. She secretly records people. She records conversations with some of the Republican leaders, and she pretends to be a fan. She pretends to align with their beliefs, so they open up to her. She does a phenomenal job, and they fall for it every time. So in this case, Windsor approached Alito. They were at the Supreme Court Historical Society's annual dinner. So this was on January 3rd, and she made him believe that she was a hardcore Christian conservative. So Windsor shared her recording exclusively with Rolling Stone news outlet, and here's what they wrote about it. Quote, "The justice's unguarded comments highlight the degree to which Alito makes little effort to present himself as a neutral umpire calling judicial balls and strikes, but rather as a partisan member of a hard-right judicial faction that's empowered to make life-altering decisions for every American." And that's really the crux of the matter. That's why I pulled that one section out of the article, because Supreme Court justices are supposed to be the most honest, the most impartial judges in the entire country. But it has become painfully obvious they no longer make decisions based on the Constitution or the law, anything that they're supposed to base it on, especially Alito. I mean, all you have to do is listen to him. So here's what all went down at this event. Windsor approaches Alito. She said in part, I don't know that we can negotiate with the left anymore. And, with all the polarization in this country, I think it's a matter of winning. You would expect an arbiter of truth and justice, a Supreme Court justice to say something like, oh no, we can't look at it as winning and losing. We have to do what's right based on our founding principles and the Constitution, the rule of law, blah, blah, blah. No, Alito tells Windsor, quote, "I think you're probably right. On one side or the other is going to win. I don't know. I mean, there can be a way of working, a way of living together peacefully. But it's difficult, because there are differences on fundamental things that really can't be compromised. They really can't be compromised. So it's not like you are going to split the difference." And then Alito also agreed with her when Windsor said, quote, "People in this country who believe in God have got to keep fighting for that, to return our country to a place of godliness." And Windsor also spoke that same night with Chief Justice John Roberts. So she was at the same event, asked him basically the same questions. His answers were what you would expect from a Supreme Court justice. Justice Roberts took issue with Windsor saying America is a Christian nation and that the Supreme Court should be guiding the country down that path. He pointed out, there are people of Muslim faith, Jewish faith, and then he told her, quote, "It's not our job to do that. It's our job to decide the cases the best we can." So Alito needs to go. I mean, it's so obvious. But here's why I never bothered to cover the flag stories and why I even considered not covering this. Number one, Democrats are weak. Democrats are pathetically weak. Nothing's going to happen. Nothing is going to change. We knew who Alito was. He has made it clear, in every opinion that he gives, the guy is so off the reservation. And the Democrats aren't going to do a damn thing about it. Case in point, here's this Hill report that just came out today that Democrats are divided over whether or not to subpoena Chief Justice Roberts to discuss ethics issues on the Supreme Court. They're not going to do it. Do you think for a second Republicans would hesitate? If the shoe was on the other foot, if the situation were reversed, do you think Republicans would be wringing their hands and, oh, I don't know if we should. I don't know if we should issue a subpoena. I mean, it might make us look bad. It might not go right. Oh, he might say no. Maybe we shouldn't do it. They would do it every day and twice on Sunday. That is why they keep getting their way, because they're the only ones who follow through. They're the only ones who aren't afraid of how it's going to look. They just do whatever the hell they want. And Democrats could actually learn something from them. It pains me to say that as a left-winger, but Democrats are freaking pathetic and weak. They cannot get out of their own goddamn way, and I'm sick of it. Also, every other news outlet was covering the flag story. So it was like, what am I going to bring to the story that's new? Right? The guy denied it. Of course he was going to deny it. Blamed his wife, like the coward that he is. And what's going to happen? Again, nothing. Nothing is going to happen because Democrats they just cannot seem to find their ovaries. I'm so beyond frustrated and disgusted by the Democratic Party. They're questioning now whether or not they should talk about Trump being a convicted felon. I heard that on Morning Joe the other day. Oh, Democrats are really, some really want to go with it and some really are like, oh, we shouldn't politicize this. Are you freaking kidding me? Again, as if Republicans would ever pull their punches. If Joe Biden was a convicted felon as Donald Trump is, do you think in a million years that they wouldn't have it plastered everywhere, that they wouldn't bring it up every 5 seconds? Democrats will bring it up a little bit and then they just drop it. Or they get scared, or other Democrats shame them. Oh, we don't want to be political. It's politics. It's freaking politics. Donald Trump is running for a political office. He is running to try to lead the country as much as he possibly can with that mush brain of his. I mean, we saw what happened the first time. But seriously, why would you not bludgeon him with it? I'm so sick of Democrats. I'm so sick of them being spineless cowards. So, again, nothing's going to come of it, but I'm sharing it with you guys because I want you to know, this is the state of play. And as I've said in other venues, Biden should be talking about packing the court. Whether he can do it right now with, the slim majority that they have in the Senate, and we don't have control as Democrats over the House, but you threaten it at least. You threaten it so they know, guess what? If Democrats take control of the House, if Democrats win a bigger majority in the Senate, which is looking unlikely, but if they do, they're going to pack the court. So maybe we better get our shit together over here in the Supreme Court. Maybe we better stop with the political games. Maybe we better stop being partisan hacks and start going back to what the founders envisioned of the Supreme Court, of actually calling balls and strikes and being honest actors. But Biden won't even threaten it. So again, weakness, absolute, utter fecklessness, weakness. It's disturbing. It is infuriating. I'm sure you can tell. I'm not happy about it. So there you go, guys. If anything changes, if they actually grow a pair of ovaries, I will let you know. All right. Thank you all so much for watching and listening. Love you all. Please like, share, and subscribe. Please donate if you can. Talk with you soon. Take care.